Welcome back, all you loyal MFers, to part 3 of MFW's first ever pay-per-view, Flashpoint. We come down to our two big main events, and we're kicking off big with the contest for the Omega Level Championship. That is Fight Night's top championship. Coming out to the ring right now, accompanying the man who will be competing for the title, Damian Wayne, aka Robin, as you see before you right now. Ready to introduce one of two contenders who will become potentially the first ever Omega Level champion, and that is Batman, Bruce Wayne, looking to become first ever champion of Fight Night. We've seen Spider-Man Miles Morales in a strange upset in a fatal four-way become the multimedia champion. We've seen all of our tag team champions crowned for both shows, as well as the women's division. The Multiversal Women's Championship crowned. But that is not all. We still have to have those two main titles on the line for this to be a really fully formed pay-per-view. And we kick off with Batman, accompanied of course by Robin, the dynamic duo, to take on what could be the tallest task Batman has to face right out of the gates. We've seen him, his opponent, make his way into this match through brutal, unscrupulous, but effective means. That man seeks the anti-life equation and believes the Omega Level Championship may have a key to that. He is the tyrant of Apocalypse, an enemy of Superman and the New God's Darkseid. It'll be very interesting to see how this goes for Batman, if the numbers game at all comes into play, if Robin's presence has any effect whatsoever against a force such as Darkseid, so dominant, so terrifying, an intimidating presence to say the least. Making his way to the ring here. Just the sheer confidence, the deliberate steps with which he walks, so casual, as if this will be so easy for him. But he's up against the world's greatest detective, and Batman is one of the few people who's ever outwitted Darkseid, albeit a bit shady in his own right, but did so nonetheless. This promises to be a merciless match on both sides. I can say that much. Coming up, we'll have, of course, the Multiversal Championship match, Warzone's top title. That'll be a triple threat match with 3 of the winners from the first ever episode of Warzone. But right now, it boils down to the man who was victorious over Deathstroke, only to be attacked by Arkham Knight after the match, thwarted thanks to the help of Damian Wayne, and the man who eliminated his opponent, who he was supposed to be competing against, the Hulk, Darkseid. Omega Level Championship, you see there, being raised above the head of the ref. That is what's on the line. Each man has so much motivation to become the top champion of the brand. Ooh, coming out the gate strong, but it did not go well. Ooh, fall away slam, hoisted and slammed onto his spine. Obviously that surgically repaired back of Batman is definitely going to be a target. Ooh, kick to the head. And just checked. Came in full speed with that running attack and didn't even have to budge Darkseid to knock down his opponent. And another fall-away slam. Not looking good so far. Working over the back, the weakened back of Batman. Targeting it seems. As Wayne tries to battle back into this. Ooh, strikes, overhand fists. Elbows across the face. Batman seemingly in control, but we know how quickly Darkseid can turn that on a dime. We saw him brawling with the Hulk of all people in the backstage areas, going blow for blow until he eventually anti-life pile-drivered him into the concrete. Escaping from that dragon sleeper there. Hulk, we've been told medically, is cleared. He can compete. He is fine. However, he was not able to compete in the match that he was supposed to qualify to try and get into this title match. So we'll see if that comes into play based on the results of this one-on-one match. Oh, big clothesline. Leveling Batman. And we keep in mind, Arkham Knight waiting in the wings somewhere. I can't imagine after that thwarted attack after the match with Deathstroke that he's not going to have something to say if Batman manages to pull out the win here. Oh, big combination strikes there. Going for a quick pin. Will it be enough? Only a 2 count. Close. You see the frustration written on Batman's face there. But he has to keep pressing the attack. You can't really give Darkseid any room to breathe or you will regret it. Oh, just choking out the life. The size difference, the power difference, so enormous. Oh, got him by the throat. Backbreaker, chokeslam backbreaker onto that weakened, surgically repaired back. Somehow Batman's staying in this, but you have to think he's feeling the pain after that one. Ooh, big hip toss. Display of power and leverage there. Using that martial arts background. And now we see him attempting to keep control of the much larger opponent. Oh, we saw something like this earlier in the night during our women's tag team matchups. DDT! Spiked head first onto the apron. Hardest part of the ring, of course, as we're told so often. Ooh, just easily shrugs off that blow and starts fighting back. These two trading fists. Big clothesline. Ref counting. Obviously, this has to end in the ring for one of these two to become the champion. Cannot end by count out. Oh, hanging him up on the bottom rope. Did you see that? Had him on the bottom rope and then slammed him down right around the throat. Only a 2 count. Interesting strategy, but that is what we come to expect from Batman. Ever the tactician, the strategist. But can it overwhelm that sheer force and power from Darkseid? Looks like he's setting him up, stalking, waiting to hit that move. Has him up for the anti-life pile driver. Plants him on his head. This could be it. There's the pin. 1, 2. No! Batman kicks out at a 2. Very surprising. Kicking out just at about 2.5. That move that laid out Hulk for quite some time. Then again, that was on concrete. Perhaps the saving grace in that moment that allowed Batman some energy to kick out. Of course, natural toughness and resilience of this man notwithstanding. Oh, another chokeslam backbreaker. Oh, right across the spine. Somehow Batman's still in this. I don't understand how much punishment his back can take. Float over DDT. Batman pressing the assault, which he needs to do. Needs to keep a powerhouse like Darkseid grounded if he wants to take advantage. I don't think he's going to tap out to an armbar like this, but at least you can weaken those limbs, keep him from getting more power behind those strikes, lifting power for those chokeslam backbreakers. Big backdrop. Darkseid now seemingly stalking Batman. Patient, as we know, very patient is Darkseid. Oh, looked like Batman was going to go for the chokeslam, got thwarted. And now Darkseid setting up for possibly another anti-life pile driver. This could be it. If he hits the second one, I can't imagine him kicking out of this one. Oh, and a second lands him right on the top of his head. 1, 2. Oh, Damian Wayne pulling the referee out of the ring. Batman easily defeated there. There was no arguing that there was going to be a 3 count. We saw Darkseid hit the pin. We saw how long he stayed covered while the ref was being pulled out of the ring by Damian Wayne. Robin just saved the matchup for Bruce Wayne here. Make no mistake about it. I doubt the crowd's disappointed with that. As you can hear from the reactions every time Batman manages to get some offense in here. But you have to think Darkseid's going to be furious if he loses this match because of something like that. Might set his sights to Damian Wayne as opposed to Batman. Regardless of the outcome of this match, win or lose. But no matter what, it's very clear Damian Wayne has provided an opening. Oh, hung up the ankles on the ropes there on the way down. Damian Wayne's provided an opening for Bruce Wayne. And an opening is all someone like Batman needs to turn an entire match around. Tossing him into the ropes once again, using those ropes like a weapon. Perhaps retaliation for what happened earlier with the hang-up on the bottom rope. Oh, that vice-like grip into the trapezius muscle of the shoulder. And Batman working the neck with a crank. Now it's interesting that they've slowed down the pace now, later on in the match, as opposed to earlier. Setting up, this could be choke slam. Can he land it? He does somehow. The power somehow manages to get him off his feet. Is it enough? 1, 2, 3. That is it. Batman is your first ever Omega level champion. Give the assist to Damian Wayne, aka Robin, for that one. But assist or not, see these backbreakers working over that weakened back of Batman. Unfair advantage or not, Batman walks out with the title. End result is final. We have our winner. We have our first ever Omega level championship moving forward, crowned around the waist of Bruce Wayne. How, if at all, Arkham Knight will factor into this, or if Darkseid will even let this go, we don't know. You'll have to watch the upcoming fight nights to figure that out. But for now, congratulations to Bruce Wayne holding that Omega level championship for the first time. Proud son watching on at ringside. We'll get ready for that Multiversal Championship match, our main event of our first ever pay-per-view Flashpoint. Can it top this? Well, let's find out. As usual, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, let us know what you think, hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. I am your host, MC Commentator Roman Empire. This is our main event. And Superman makes his way to the ring. This man won in a match against Lex Luthor in the main event of the first ever Warzone. We saw him win with that outside superplex, followed up by a flying elbow drop from the top rope to the spine of Lex Luthor. It was a brutal match. Both men pulling out all the stops. In the end, though, Clark Kent, aka Kal-El, the last son of Krypton, manages to pull out the win and gets into this matchup, which will be a triple threat for the Multiversal Championship. Obviously, Superman, one of the heavy favorites on that first episode of Warzone to be one of the contenders, for obvious reasons. However, he's up against some pretty solid competition all around. I don't think there's a clear favorite in this entire match. Find out why in a moment when you see the other two competitors make their way to the ring. Representing the DC side of things, but our two other competitors representing Marvel. The first, this man pulled out a big win against Aquaman, only to be attacked by his brother Loki after the match. With the assistance of Mira, who was accompanying Aquaman to the ring, he was unable to stop him. Had him over his head, if you'll remember, and then that drop kick from Mira allowed Loki to fall free and hit the Loki driver, laying him out in the ring. And you got to think that's in the back of his mind, but he has to push that away and focus on the task at hand if he has any hope of being successful and walking out the first ever Multiversal Champion. Carrying Mjolnir on his shoulder. Thor and Superman alone is a titanic matchup, imagining these two godlike figures going at it. But this is not a one-on-one situation. They have a third individual, an X factor that they have to keep in mind. Because at any moment, if they take their eye off the ball, that third member in any of the possible matchups that could arise from a triple threat could be the deciding factor for who wins or loses. Regardless of what happens for Thor at the end of this match, you have to think moving forward, Loki is on his mind. How does he handle that situation? If he has the belt around his waist when that happens, how does he deal with Loki? Does he assume he's the next challenger on the list? But that's thinking ahead. First, he and Superman have to contend with this last competitor to get that far. A man who defeated Reed Richards soundly, with the rest of the Fantastic Four at ringside. Submission of the Iron Grip, so devastating. Victor Von Doom, aka Dr. Doom, longtime nemesis of the Fantastic Four. Rounding out our trio here for the main event triple threat match for the Multiversal Championship, which will be crowned for the first time, as all our belts have, here tonight. I think this has been quite a successful first pay-per-view. We are all learning along with you. This is a learning curve of sorts. I hope you're enjoying it. Hope you're getting as much of a kick out of it as I am. And moving forward, of course, we will continue to improve. We'll continue to get sharper at this, better at this. I will get better at this whole commentating job. This is my first time doing it, so be gentle. But for those of you joining me, cannot thank you enough. Absolute thrill to be able to share this with all of you. But enough sentiments. Let's move on. We have our title match. Everyone in their corners ready to spring out of their shoes and go after the nearest competitor. There's that, in my opinion, quite beautiful Multiversal Championship. Do say so myself. Obviously all touch-ups done by, as we mentioned, our CAC department, in conjunction with the Community Creations talent agency. Ooh, charging in Superman did, but he got stopped. Don't think he's used to that. Ooh, already. Looked like he was going for a neck crank there, Doom, and then the boot to the face of Superman from Thor followed up and continued to hit Victor Von Doom as now Thor takes control. Now it's interesting, all three of these individuals definitely considered powerhouses, very much on the scale of strength, toughness. However, based purely on stats, obviously because of the power dampers in the arena, only two of these men are super heavyweights. Obviously, Asgardian physiology makes Thor over 600 pounds. The suit adds weight for Victor Von Doom. Superman, however, only somewhat over the 210-pound mark or so. I think I believe he weighs in about 225. So he's about a heavyweight, light heavyweight, heavyweight. Could that be a factor? Will it make it easier for the other two to exert their physical strength? Or will it give Superman the speed advantage? Obviously, we see the ref knocked out in the process of all this brawling. No surprise there. The three titans of the multiverse going at it. Action is spilled entirely to the outside of the ring here for a moment. who Superman attempted to intercept, did not quite go well. That's where we talked about that power difference. He went for that clothesline normally. Superman, used to being able to level anyone, got staggered away just from a simple body block from Doom. Needs to adjust his game moving forward if he wants to be a competitor here in MFW. Oh, knees to the head. Doom in the corner, looks like to be raking the eyes. No disqualifications, no countouts in a triple threat. That's perfectly legal. Looks like both now focusing on Thor. Interesting. But that broke down very quickly. Thor, I think, a little too quick to try and get the adulation of the crowd. Really not paying attention to his surroundings. DDT. In for the quick pin. One. Only a 1 count, but a smart move considering Superman was out of the equation briefly. Oh, deadlift. Sit out powerbomb. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. Another quick pin. Again, smart strategy when the third man is out of the equation to try and pick up a win. Even if it's a long shot. Taking advantage of that brief moment. Oh, has the hands around the throat. Will Superman pass out to that iron grip the way that Reed Richards did? Fighting it, attempting to get out, gripping on that gauntlet with all his force. Not enough. Doom looks like he released it. Probably saw he wasn't going to give up. Thought it better than to be fought out of. Kent on the floor trying to get his breath back into his lungs as Doom trying to take advantage once again of a down third opponent. That's the tactical cunning of someone like Doom. Clever, intelligent, ruthless, and efficient. Ooh, big chop block to the back of the knee. Thor going for a quick pin. I'm surprised by that one. Only a 1 count. But at the same time, a bit of strategy from the God of Thunder. Welcome. And now Superman seems to be employing that same strategy with the third member taken out of the equation. Go for the quick pin, even if it's a long shot. All three of these men adapting very quickly to the triple threat situation. Series of clotheslines here from Thor. And now Thor and Doom remain. Military presses overhead. Drops him. That was the move he attempted to use on Loki when he was attacked, only to get drop kicked. Ooh, pile driver right on the top of the head, spiking Superman. Quick pin on Doom. 1, 2. Oh, not even a 2 count. Interesting to see, though, how all three of these men have so quickly adapted to the strategies you would use in a triple threat situation. Superman still on the outside. This could be it. Thor's hammer. Can he land it? Hits it. Superman still not up. 1, 2, 3. It's over. It is over. With Superman taken out of the equation, Thor hitting Thor's hammer out of nowhere gets the pin. 1, 2, 3, and you have your new first ever Multiversal Champion. Unbelievable performance from Thor there, but take nothing away. Superman, Dr. Doom, putting their hearts into that, their intelligence, everything came to bear, using whatever weapons they had at their disposal, but it just didn't quite get the job done. With Superman taken out of the equation on the outside, Thor and Doom on the inside, all it took was one Thor's hammer, and we have your new champion. Well, congratulations to all our new champions. We will have more moving forward. Not every title has been put on the line. There's more to come. You gotta stay tuned to Warzone and Fight Night to see that. But for now, congratulations to all the champions. Thank you once again for joining us here at MFW for our first ever pay-per-view. Flashpoint has been amazing. We had a few glitches along the way. I was thoroughly entertained regardless of when it was going smoothly or when it was getting a little funky. The funk is what makes it interesting. Remember to like, remember to leave comments. Let us know what matches you want to see moving forward, what you think of the stories going on here. Remember to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get those new episodes when they come out, not miss a thing. There's more fallout to come from all this. So if you want to see it, make sure you keep up. Don't miss a thing, all you loyal MFers. Thank you once again for joining me. I am Roman Empire, your host, commentator, so on. Thank you and good night.